I'm going to do a quick little video here and explain to you how do you use the market signal service inside Roar. If you are not a member of Roar, we offer a brokerage firm that gives you 25 to 1 leverage on stocks and 2 to 1 leverage on options with no PDT rule. Now, if you are a member and you are signed up for our market signals, I will show you how you exactly use them each day, okay? And I'll give you some examples right now. So each day you can see here, I usually follow the big 7. Now some days I'll add more in there, some days I won't. But each morning what I'll do is I'll take a screen capture and you'll see there'll be a color beside each of the name. Now obviously red means I want to short it at some point during the day. Yellow or orange is neutral, which means I can go long and short. And if there was a green in there, then the green would mean I'd be looking for longs on it, okay? So each morning what I'll do inside the Discord room is, you can see here this morning, I posted the list of the stocks that I wanted to short, neutral, and there were no greens this morning. So because the market's fast, and I want you guys kind of to be prepared for those types of things. Now, I can't post these statistical levels, which you can see here, these statistical levels, we'll talk about these in a second, until the market opens, because the statistics are based upon the open to close of each market. So I can't post those pre-market. You have to wait for about 3 to 5 minutes before I actually post those. Now what are these levels? Well, you're going to see a blue level here, and you're going to see a +1, a +2, a +3, a +4, -1, -2, -3, -4. Now these levels are statistically based, and I update these levels every 7 days, on what is the expected move of the personality, volatility, if you will, of the individual asset that we're trading. Now, statistically, most assets will stay within 88% of the time, will stay within the bottom 2 ranges and the top 2 ranges, okay? Whenever they break out of those ranges and they go to the 3rd or the 4th highest level, this is a full range extension, okay? And that happens very, very rarely, about 12% of the time on average. So what we're trying to do in these situations is capture an extreme and revert back to a mean. So in the morning, what I'll do is I'll post those levels. But for the most part, most of the time, if you're going to see a red level like Tesla today, right? For the most part, what it means is that I'm going to be fairly aggressive in shorting this level, this level, this level occasionally, okay? So most of the time I'm going to be shorting here if it's red, right? And I'll be shorting again, with that red. And I'll be shorting here again too. Okay, wait a second guys, a trade's about to happen. 1 second, let me pause this video. So most of the time I'll be shorting here and shorting here. Now, in a day like today, where I had so many reds and neutrals, I had 3 reds and 3 neutrals, chances are I'm going to probably be fairly aggressive in that. And on a day like today, I'm actually even going to short this level up here. And so in this particular case, I would have shorted here, shorted here, and I would have shorted when we touched here. Now, there is some subjectivity, if you will. If all of these big seven were all very red, I would have been very aggressive in shorting here, 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 right? Now, whenever you short, there's an option that you have, and that is where does your stop and target go? Well, if I'm shorting here, like Apple, we'll take Apple as a consideration today, okay? So Apple opened here, and I would have shorted there, and I may have planned on shorting here as well too. But on a day like today, with an Apple short, I'm going to just short here, and my target's going to be the next level down. Okay? And you can see that one worked out great, and NVIDIA was the other one that I was very aggressively interested in shorting. So NVIDIA today, I would have shorted here, there, and there. And so how do you get into these trades? So how do you make sure you make money? Well, if you're aggressively shorting, you're going to be potentially adding to the trade, right? And my stop on NVIDIA would have gone up here. Okay, so if I'm planning on shorting the first two levels, I have to size the trade here and size the trade larger here so that when I get to here, I don't lose too much money, if that makes sense to you, right? The idea is that if price is going to be contained within these levels the vast majority of the time, then ideally probably one or two trades, but you still shouldn't lose a lot of money. So for example, with NVIDIA, let's say that I decided to short this level here. Now, let's say that I was going to put my stop up there, okay? And by the way, whenever I'm using a stop, I want it to go slightly higher than the actual level, okay? Maybe, a few percent higher. Not a few percent higher, but 10, 15 cents higher. So if I was risking, in this case, $1,000, or how much? Yeah, $1,000 on NVIDIA, I would do 50 shares here, okay? And if I wanted to risk $2,000 on this trade, okay, I would have taken on the other short here with my stop still up here, okay, and I would have done 87 shares there. So my target in this case would be, if I got short here, that one didn't get stopped out, but I added to the trade here, my target would have been there, right back down to this level. So this trade breaks even and this trade makes money. Does that make sense? Okay? So that's the general idea, and of course the longs would be the case as well too. So whenever you see a lot of greens on here, I'm going to be buying very aggressively. If you see a lot of neutrals on here, neutrals basically mean I usually want to wait for the second level to be tested, not the first level, right? So if we look at the neutrals, let's see, Amazon today. Okay, here's a very perfect example. Okay, so Amazon was a neutral today. I would have bought here, and potentially bought there, because it's a neutral, right? To be very honest with you, the very first trade worked out. You can see here, bought there and it went to there. So that one actually made profit, right? Let's see, Google. Google was a neutral. Now, I would have lost on Google today, right? I try to stay away from neutrals, to be very honest with you. Meta, again, would have lost on Meta. Microsoft worked. Okay, you can see the neutral on Microsoft. You bought here and you sold there. Okay, or sorry, you wouldn't have even got a trade off on Microsoft. Okay, so that's the general idea. Okay, guys, now you have to use a little bit of common sense. If you see all reds be very aggressive. If you see all greens, be very aggressive. If you see a lot of neutrals or reds and greens, then you can mix it up a little bit. Does that make sense? Right? So that's how you use the signals. Will I post every single trade? No, you guys can use these statistical levels on your own as well too, as long as you're following some very basic common sense principles. Again, if they're all red, be aggressive on shorts. If they're all green, be aggressive on longs. If they're mixed up, then don't do anything, because it's just probably going to be a very random day, right? So there's multiple ways that you can use the statistical levels. Now, in the signal room, I'll be sharing my trades. You can just wait for my trades. That's fine. But if you want to be a bit creative and do your own trades as well too, don't be shy. Okay? Because each morning, what I'll do is I'll post the list, then I'll post the levels on each of the stocks, and then you'll have it and you can work with it all on your own. Okay? The idea is, if you plan on scaling in, make sure you make that plan before it happens so that you can size your trade properly. It's okay to scale into these trades, all right? You don't have to be full bore at every level. Scaling in is a very good thing, okay? All right, I hope you guys enjoyed that. And, we'll learn and grow together. Bye for now.